It has been quite some time from I made a video, and I did say I was going to make more in January, but I couldn't because I was working on short films, and I intend to get a video up at some stage when we know where the film's going to get screened. But we're very excited about it. You know, it's a Western meets a gangster film, short film, and then I was working on some other project too. So I'm very excited about that I got to co-direct, co-produce, and do a lot of the cinematography for. But without getting into that, let's get into this review of a sequel of a very, very famous, probably the most famous film to come out of Scotland, Trainspotting. And of course I'm talking about the sequel that just came out this year, Trainspotting 2. Now, to refresh and recap my memory, I did watch Trainspotting the night before just to get an idea of what I was getting into again, because I hadn't seen the film in like 5-6 years maybe. And Trainspotting is a really well known film for the gritty style it had, and just a very unique pacing, very unique sense of character, stylistically as well with its editing, and just these characters that are very, you know, I wouldn't say despicable, but certainly characters that are challenging for a general audience. And Trainspotting 2 basically is set 20 years later when Mark, who we see in the first film at the end, running away with the money that was made with his friends. And he took the money and he ran and he got out of there. So the film is set 20 years on whenever Mark decides to come back to Edinburgh, and that's when things get a little messy because his friends obviously still feel cheated by the fact that their lives could have been totally different if they had gotten the money. So we revisit a lot of these characters, and of course that's great, and you wonder why a sequel so much later, and you know, I felt really against it at first, but actually this is a very good sequel. This is a sequel done well, and while it may not be absolutely on par with the first film, it definitely holds up strong because it doesn't rely too much of trying to just rehash the old one and just be this big nostalgic rush, and that's a theme that I'll get into quite soon. But overall, Trainspotting 2, we revisit all these characters and they're much older. Begbie is in prison and he escapes, and Spud things aren't going well for, and Simon, he's trying to run a bar and has new ideas of what he wants to do. And it was great to see those characters, what they would have been like much later on, because a lot of their traits that was in the character traits that were in the first film are still present, but 20 years later a character's going to change, and I think it portrayed that quite well, especially in the Begbie character, who really kind of got fleshed out more in this film. And especially Spud. I think other people are saying this too, but Spud does take the limelight. Spud gets quite a bit of focus in this film. I think he's probably the most likeable character there is, because even in the first film, he is the one who never really done much wrong to anybody, and that's why Ewan McGregor's character Mark ended up leaving him the money in the first place at the end of the first film. But Trainspotting 2 is a really interesting film because it is dealing with those ideas of nostalgia and trying to make things the way they were again, because obviously Mark is motivated to come back here and try to rekindle his relationships and see what's going on, and almost kind of lost in his life and what he's doing. And what the film is really tackling on that is the fact that Mark can't just come back and things will be all A-okay, because things certainly aren't when he does come back. But there's a lot of these memories that start happening with these characters, especially between Mark and Simon, considering that they were characters that knew each other for a very long time, since their childhood pretty much, and they just kind of recap memories and stuff, and it's a very interesting film. I always love it when I see films try to deal with these ideas of nostalgia, and the film existing itself makes you worry this film could be just another nostalgic rush of trying to make something similar to the first one, you know, so that sort of sequel idea where they try to revisit something and revamp it and be like, oh yeah, remember how great this was, you know. That's certainly a theme that South Park tackles quite a bit anyway in their last season. But overall, Trainspotting 2 is a very interesting and enjoyable film. It's hilarious for one thing. I think it does drag a bit at times, but what it does that I felt was lacking in the first film is it really does expand on the characters a bit more. But there's some places I felt it could have expanded more on. For instance, Mark, we do see a return, but not much is elaborated about where he was. He's in Amsterdam and he had gotten divorced, but there isn't much other information about that, and the Begbie character here really does try to get fleshed out, and it was really interesting what they done with the character, but I felt like something was missing. Begbie is certainly a he is certainly made into this more pathetic character in the film. But I love what they done with Spud because they really expanded upon what was happening with him, especially with the start of the film. And really quickly, I just want to mention a scene that I thought was absolutely hilarious, but I'm not actually going to speak too much of it. You may know what I'm talking about if you've seen it, but I did not expect to see this in the film. And I think people in Northern Ireland are just going to absolutely love this for what it does. If you've seen the film, you know what I'm talking about, but that scene was great, unexpected, and I would almost say challenging for what it does. But that's all I'm going to say about that scene. Trainspotting 2 overall is a really good film. I feel like it doesn't quite hit the marks that it wants emotionally, but it does flesh out on the characters a lot better, and it is more of a character study of these people. It's a lot longer. You know, Trainspotting's about 86 minutes. This film's 110 minutes, so if you like the first Trainspotting, definitely go see this film. It's a little offbeat, and it's a bit crazy, and it is quite unique in style and tone. You know, it is something a little bit different. So if you're looking for that, definitely go see it. That's it. Quick review of Trainspotting 2. Highly recommend you go see it. That's it for now, everyone. I will get my review of La La Land up once I revisit it, because I don't want my review just to be another rehash of positivity. As much as I want to be singing and dancing right now, telling you to go see it. Go see it, by the way. I'm not going to do that just yet, and I'm going to be quite brief because there's so much has been said and reviewed about this film already, and yeah. I'll just cut myself there. Thanks for watching, everybody, and I'll see you next time.